Hello everyone, Don here, and it's time for some more Turtles action. This time we're taking it to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IV, Turtles in Time. Widely regarded as one of the best side-scrolling beat-em-ups of the 16-bit generation, if not the best, and a game that I did not have the luxury of owning because my family was a Sega family. Well, I did have the Hyperstone Heist and Tournament Fighters, if you can even count that. The Hyperstone Heist was one of those games that just freaking disappeared on me. One of my brother's friends borrowed it and I never saw that thing again. This is April O'Neil reporting for... Oh, at least I'm not the damsel this time. Hey, Shredder! Bring that statue back, you bloated beanbag! And Raph, what the fuck is going on with your eyes?
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Oh, we're starting out the crux of Sad Boy hours for this one. But, Turtles in Time. What I'm gonna do for this game is I'm exclusively using Donatello and Raphael for this one. When I get to the Genesis version of this game, or the Hyperstone Heist, they're technically two different games, I'm gonna use Mikey and Leo for that one. There's no real difference between the way the Turtles control in the Genesis version compared to this one, it's just there's a lack of a screen toss in the Genesis game. So if you're just tuning in for this game and you're not interested in the Hyperstone Heist at all, that's the real difference. No screen toss in the Genesis game. But here's Turtles in Time in action, based off the arcade game from 1991 of the same name, though lacking a 4 in the arcades. This game controls way different than it did before. Gone are the loose controls and wacky hit detection, and just overall general mayhem. Well, there's still mayhem in this game, but it's more manageable. This game is buttery smooth, like pizza crust. Pizza crust can be buttery smooth. Anyone that tells you otherwise is a freaking liar. But this game on the Super Nintendo is an example of how a home port can actually outshine its arcade counterpart, and it's the same for the Mega Drive game too. Both home ports are actually better than the arcade game. And Konami were basically the kings of home conversions. You got Contra and Super C, you got Gradius 3, and then you got this game. Now, for those who don't know who the Ninja Turtles are, which may be like 2 or 3 people on Earth at the moment, I don't know, the concept originated from a series of comic books dating back to 1984. Terminate the Turtles! So we got Baxter Stockman in fly form, mad scientist gone rogue mutant. Now he'll spend most of the fight in the air. You can give him a big boot by jumping up and pressing the attack button as soon as you rise. To get a good idea of where you need to dropkick Stockman, your character needs to line up with his drop shadow. If you want to play the waiting game, however, Stockman will eventually drop to ground level and attempt to shoot you from there, and he'll be plenty open when he does that. Once you get the boss down to half health, or 2 bars, he'll lose the machine gun and he'll start using this ectoplasm hand thingy. I don't know what he does with that thing on recreational use, but let's just say hopefully he doesn't spend too many lonely nights with that thing. And once he kicked Baxter in the ass enough, he'll self-destruct. I can't come up with a reason why everyone that is not a foot soldier explodes, but that just adds to the insane nature of Turtles in Time.
Alleycat Blues.
Damn, I love this game. The next stage will take place during the daytime in one of the back alleyways, accompanied with some jazzy music to go along with the brutality. It's Don's turn to crack some skulls with his staff. And with that, let me go over the instruction manual to break down Don's personality and stats, as the breakdowns are pretty interesting and, let's face it, I miss instruction manuals. Don's been chowing down on too many double stuffed pizzas with extra pepperonis, thus he's a bit slow these days. But he more than makes up his pooch belly with a weapon that keeps enemies at a distance. Don's special attack is his high-flying kick to the teeth. His stats: normal attack is a 6, rush attack is a 6, special technique is a perfect 8, defense is a 5, and speed is a 4. Don's the turtle that excels at range and probably has the best special move in the game outside of Michelangelo, but his ground speed is very slow. He needs to work on that. But Don is a great character for beginners. His bow staff alone breaks the game. I mean, look at that. I'm reaching halfway across the screen. So if you don't want to deal with the enemies as much, play as Don. You'll have fun with him. You see, there are little quirks and different exploits that you can use with the Turtles in this game, and in Hyperstone Heist. Not so much the arcade game. The arcade game will probably punish you if you attempt to do some of the shit that you would do in this game. Like the slide kick. All of the Turtles have a slide kick that will just barrel through enemies. Oh, and here's a bomb pizza. Never let your guard down when it comes to a turtle with a bomb pizza. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, the slide kick is very useful. Even knowing your enemies is very useful too. Purple guys, unarmed. Blue guys, swords, they jump at you. And the blue guys are actually more of a pain in the ass in the Hyperstone Heist because they're a lot quicker in that game. And the white guys, the white ninjas, they have these nunchucks. They don't do that much damage and they're pretty slow. But it seems like we ran into a dead end. I'm gonna mangle you, green slim balls. Okay, fun fact. Me and my brother, to this day, we still call each other slim balls, just because of this game. So I have Turtles in Time to thank for an inside joke. But anyway, Metalhead is pretty rough, not unless you exploit a weakness. And this works for every turtle too. You run towards M-Head and you dash kick him. And since his hitboxes reset super quickly, you can just dash into him and he'll lose 2 health bars. His attacks are pretty standard. He'll go to the right side of the screen on occasion to shoot lasers. Oh wait. Ah! And he'll extend his arms and legs for kicks and punches.
Surfin.
Now, contrary to the image, the Pizza Monster is not the boss of the stage. We will run into plenty of these guys though. Surfing plays much like a... Oh, it is a bonus stage, never mind. So it is a bonus stage and you have to beat up all the foot soldiers and collect the pizzas that are on your way. You also want to avoid the spike mines lest you get a stub toe. Those are never fun. You know what? No, I'm downplaying it. Stubbing your toe fucking sucks. Ugh. The blue foot soldiers will attempt to leap at you with their swords. Dodging around them is the safer bet. Unless if you're Don or Mike, in which case some of their attacks reach upwards, and you can still possibly hit the blue foot soldiers in the air. Here are the pizzas! Collect these to get health back. For whatever reason in the Sega Genesis game, Sewer Surfing comes back in some form. You collect pizzas in that bonus stage too, but you don't get health back for collecting those pizzas like you do here. I always found that weird. There are a lot of weird changes in the Hyperstone Heist that was not present, or at least not as jarring in Turtles 4 compared to Hyperstone Heist. The screen toss we can understand its hardware limitations, but other changes like longer stages and also some hit detection issues like, what? I don't get it, but okay. There's gonna be one more pizza coming up and I missed the damn pizza. Oh, the boss is not really that hard anyway. First the sewers, then the world! Rat King, he is probably the easiest boss in the entire game. He'll start out by shooting these missiles going from up to down in a very simple pattern. As long as you stay in between the missiles or above or below their y-axis, you should be good to go and not get hit. Rat King will also back off and launch these spike mines into the water. This is your opportunity to hit him. And hit him you will, because if you're right next to him on the bottom right corner of the screen, he will never touch you with those spike mines. Very easy. In the arcade version, when you beat the Sewer Surfing stage, Shredder just takes you back to the past out of nowhere. No Technodrome stage, you don't even fight Rat King in that version. He is exclusive to the Super Nintendo, which makes for pretty good added content. And speaking of which,
Technodrome. Let's kick shout.
the Technodrome stage, a level that was added in the Super Nintendo version. And 4 stages in, might I add. This is gonna be a short game, is it? Spoiler alert, it is a short game, but we haven't even gotten to the time travel yet. We're here to kick some shell. The usual suspects are here, the foot soldiers, the roadkill Rodneys. You even got the first appearance of Mousers in this game. I love the slam move. And the toss. Meet the Mousers. They're small and fidgety, but they die in one hit. Don't let these guys latch onto you. If you do, then it sucks because they just... Yeah, right there, that animation. Fuck that animation. You know what's worse than getting a stubbed toe? Pinching your fingers. I've done that plenty of times in my life. The blue foot soldiers with the scythes are quick on their feet, and they operate slightly differently than the guys with the swords, who are also blue. And it's not even a different shade of blue either. There's just so much blue everywhere. But since the Technodrome is the 4th level in the game and not the penultimate or the final stage, things are a bit pathetically simple. Don't worry, there's more to it than that. And we must not forget the bomb pizza. And apparently the foot soldiers are T-1000s now? Okay then, whatever. I was gonna come up with a smartass remark, but Terminator 2 did come out around this time, so yeah, it was popular. Love the music in this game. Masters say have fun. Fun. I don't know who said what line, by the way. But anyway, Toka and Razar. Or Razar, however you pronounce it. Or as I like to call them, Bebop and Rocksteady 2.0. There's a fire and ice gimmick to their attacks. Toka, the giant turtle, will breathe an ice breath, which will do not as much damage as Razar. Yeah, it's only 1 health bar. Not really that powerful. Razar, on the other hand, has a fire breath that will do 2 or 3, maybe 4 damage. And the bosses have a tendency of colliding into each other once they get separated. You can use that to your advantage. As both enemies have separate health bars, defeating one doesn't necessarily end the fight. You have to kill both of them. Or demutagenize them, because once you defeat them, they go back to their original forms. Which marks one of the few boss enemies that don't violently explode upon death. They'll find another way to mutate again. It's time for the tried and true elevator section that's popular in so many 90s beat 'em up games. There's a pizza on the lift, pick it up or leave it, it's really up to you. I needed it now, so that's why I picked it up. More foot soldiers will pile in, but at this point you should be able to barrel through them and exploit their characteristics. The roadkill Rodneys and Mousers will also enter the elevator looking for a fight too. Screw you, roadkill Rodneys! The elevator section is not that hard, even on hard mode, which is the only way you can get the best ending in the game. Playing the game on normal just cuts some of the ending out, and playing on easy just cuts off at either this stage or Prehistoric Turtosaurus. It's either one of these 2 stages. I wouldn't know because I never played the easy mode of this game. I either played on normal or hard. But that's besides the point. Having the game's true ending hidden behind the most difficult setting was pretty commonplace in a lot of Konami games back then. You see these pink foot soldiers. Oh, they'll become a nuisance in the next boss, even more so than they are right now. Tonight, I dine on turtle soup. And the Shredder has taken the position of our POV. If only we had an attack that can break the 4th wall. Oh, what the fuck? This, ladies and gentlemen, the fling toss. No longer a gimmicky throw that was somewhat reliable in the arcade game. You actually need to master this in order to defeat the Shredder here. So here's the strategy. You gotta throw these guys in the Shredder to damage him. But since I'm playing on hard, the standard blue variants are replaced with pink blocking types. So what I need to do is I need to run into him and shoulder tackle them in order to open them up and throw them into Shredder. I made that boss fight look super easy, but trust me, on the hard mode, it's really difficult to maintain where you're at. My patience is wearing thin. I'm banishing you to a time warp, from which you will never return. And oh god, trippy effects. I thought this was only done on Genesis. Anyway, that's going to be it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, which is also the finale.
Prehistoric Turtlesaurus.
The dawn of man in Turtles. Oh god.
Pizza power!